Music has always been a vital part of African society, serving as a means of communication, spiritual connection, and storytelling. But what about the technology behind African music? When we think about music technology, we often imagine synthesizers, digital audio workstations, and streaming platforms. But long before these modern tools, Africa was home to some of the world's most innovative musical instruments and practices. Now, before we dive in, if you love learning about history and technology, consider subscribing. It helps support the channel and lets us keep bringing you fascinating content. Now, let's explore the evolution of African music technology through the Weber lens. Understanding of ancient African music comes from a mix of archaeology, oral tradition, and historical accounts. So, in a place called Tassel, Niger, Algeria, 6000 to 4000 BCE, rock paintings depict dancing figures, and some researchers suggest that certain objects in the images could represent early musical instruments. In Kondo, that's in Tanzania, 4000 to 1000 BCE, it had also depictions that hint at music making traditions. Ancient Egyptian art, 2500 BCE, provides some of the earliest concrete evidence of African musical instruments. So, wall paintings from tombs like those in Beni Hassan depict harps, lutes, and flutes. But archaeological finds also reveal some of the oldest African instruments, including ivory flutes from the Nile region and xylophones from West Africa, dating back centuries. So, let's look at some of the indigenous music technology that we have. One of Africa's most remarkable musical innovations is the talking drum. So, used by the Yoruba, Wolof, and Akan peoples, it could mimic human speech by changing pitch when the player tightened or loosened the drum's tension cords while striking it with a curved stick. So these drums were used to send messages across long distances. Drumming in general was restricted by colonial authorities, wherein it could be used for covert communication. The umbira or thumb piano is an instrument with metal keys attached to a wooden soundboard. It's found across Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and the Congo Basin. It has a resonating soundbox that gives it a unique layered tone. Some imbiras include metal buzzers that create a characteristic rattling sound, a feature found in many African instruments designed to add texture to the music. The ungoni and ankonting are early African string instruments that directly influenced the modern banjo. So these instruments use a gourd as a resonator, a design principle still found in many stringed instruments today. So enslaved Africans carried these instruments designs to the Americas, where they evolved into the banjo, shaping country, bluegrass, and jazz music. The balafon, an early xylophone, was built with wooden bars and gound resonators placed underneath to enhance sound projection. So this was an early experiment in sound amplification, a fundamental concept in modern acoustics. Music technology in Africa didn't evolve in isolation. It spread through trade and migration. So the Trans-Saharan trade, 7th to 16th century CE, helped instruments like the kora and talking drums spread across Africa. The griot tradition in West Africa preserved history through song, passing down knowledge for generations. So with colonialism came Western musical influences, leading to new hybrids of sound. So this included high life in Ghana, 1920s, that blended African rhythms with Western brass instruments. There's also Afrobeat in Nigeria in the 1970s, which fused jazz and African percussion, pioneered by Fela Kuti. And Circus in Congo, 1960s, adapted electric guitars into traditional dance music. So despite colonial disruptions, African music continued to innovate, blending the old with the new. Today, African music is at the forefront of global trends with new technological advances. Its music technology has gone digital with tools like digital audio workstation, electronic drum machines, and synthesizers. Okay, there's also sampling of traditional sounds with Afrobeat artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid incorporating talking drum samples in modern beats. Some challenges that still exist, though, include economic barriers, access to production tools, and copyright issues. However, platforms like Spotify, Boomplay, and YouTube are making African music more accessible globally. The future of African music technology is exciting. We're seeing developments in AI powered music creation. There's also the revival of traditional instruments, with more musicians blending umbiras, chorus, and balafons into contemporary music. And also music NFTs and blockchain royalties, ensuring fairer pay for African arts. The future of African music is a fusion of heritage and innovation. The challenge now is ensuring access to technology while preserving traditional knowledge. African music technology has evolved through talking drums to digital studios. By understanding its history, we can appreciate its brilliance and shape the future of music together. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.